Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're really going to dissect the mechanics of how businesses actually connect with customers to drive growth and build those lasting relationships. Let's just jump right in. Here is our agenda for today. We'll be covering back to basics, the traditional way, the digital revolution, a head-to-head comparison, and finally, the winning combination. Section 1, back to basics. So if you strip away all the specific mediums, whether we're talking about massive billboards or the smartphone in your pocket, the core mission remains exactly the same. Marketing really just boils down to identifying customer needs, engineering a solution, and then promoting it to build a relationship and drive revenue. It is, at its absolute core, relentlessly customer-centric. And these concepts come to life through 5 core functions in what is essentially a continuous loop. Market research uncovers the actual demand. Product development builds the solution. Pricing ensures profitability. Promotion communicates the value. And distribution gets it into the buyer's hands. Once you get to the end, the whole cycle just repeats itself. Section 2, the traditional way. Traditional marketing relies on the offline heavyweights. We're talking television and radio, printed newspapers, giant billboards, and live events. For literally decades, this was the absolute only playbook for establishing a brand's footprint in the physical world. Now, you might be wondering, why do companies still pour billions of dollars into this today? Well, because physical media literally holds weight. Actually holding a brochure in your hands, or driving past a permanent billboard on your daily commute, that builds an intense level of trust and credibility. Plus, it's highly effective for dominating very specific local regional markets. But of course, the traditional route definitely has its heavy drawbacks. It requires massive upfront capital, you're geographically locked into one area, and honestly, its biggest flaw? The ROI is incredibly hard to track. I mean, trying to measure exactly who bought your product because they saw a magazine ad, it's largely just guesswork. Section 3, the digital revolution. Digital completely shifts the battlefield over to the internet. With tools like SEO, pay-per-click ads, and social media, brands aren't just sitting around waiting for customers to walk by a sign anymore. Instead, they are actively intercepting them globally and instantly at the exact moment of intent. Just look at how Nike applies this in the real world. They don't just sell shoes, right? They use highly visual Instagram campaigns to cultivate massive, interactive global communities around their entire lifestyle. They're literally turning everyday users into hardcore brand advocates. The perks here are a real game changer. You get global reach at just a fraction of the cost of traditional media. But the true superpower? That's the data. Real-time analytics allow you to track every single click, which lets you foster a genuine two-way dialogue with your market. So what's the digital flip side? Well, you're completely locked into the user actually having an internet connection. Also, the barrier to entry is so low that the landscape is hyper-competitive. And the algorithm? It's a hungry beast. It demands a relentless, never-ending schedule of fresh content if you want to stay relevant. With such wildly distinct pros and cons on both sides, where should a modern business actually deploy its capital? Section 4, head-to-head. When we put them side by side, the contrast is stark. Traditional is this broad, expensive swing aimed at building local trust. Digital, on the other hand, is a hyper-targeted, cost-effective laser focused on global reach. But the ultimate dividing line really is feedback. Traditional feedback is slow and vague. Digital is instant and incredibly data-rich. There is also a massive divergence in sheer velocity. Traditional campaigns are much more of a slow burn, building that trust over a long period of time. Digital ads, they can trigger a conversion the exact second they go live. And then we have to talk about agility. I mean, once ink hits paper on a billboard, well, once the billboard actually goes up, your money is totally locked in. If it fails, it fails. Digital, however, allows you to pause, tweak, and pivot your messaging completely on the fly based on what the real-time data is telling you. Section 5. The winning combination. The reality is, the most sophisticated marketers out there don't just choose one or the other. They run an integrated playbook. They use traditional methods as their heavy artillery to establish local trust and brand permanence, while simultaneously deploying digital tactics as the infantry for global reach, agility, and measurable conversions. It's all about achieving unified coverage. So I want to leave you with this final thought. How are you going to architect your own strategy? How will you blend the heavy-hitting permanence of traditional media with the sharp, data-driven precision of digital to create a truly inescapable campaign? Thanks so much for joining this explainer, and we will see you next time.